What up, everybody on the planet listening today, or tonight, or this morning, or whatever. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of I'm Reviewing Here, a podcast where I, Matthew Bussey, watch and review sight and sound's top greatest movies of all time. I'm getting closer to number one. No, I'm not. I have like 200? Yeah, actually, I think I have literally at least 150 to 200 more movies. Oh my god. Some of these movies I've already seen, but a lot of them I haven't even heard of. A lot of them I've seen once in like college when I was a nerdy little film student who, didn't know what he was doing, and everybody kept telling him that, you gotta intern, and you don't, man, don't get me started about college. I've read a book about college, but it's not for sale, though, because everybody would sue me, probably, because I didn't change any of the names. But if you come into my house, I'll let you read it. My address is... Just kidding. Yes, this concludes Paris Week. I announced that this is Paris Week I'm Reviewing Here, because the previous movie, last episode, had Paris in the title, and this, the film for today, has Paris in the title. And it also has nothing to do with Paris, like, the city, Paris, France. Yeah. This is a very, very famous, critically acclaimed indie film. I would definitely call it an indie film. It's by a very revered director named Wim Wenders. And, of course, I did not know that his name was pronounced Wim Wenders and not Wim Wenders. And I had known that since, years ago. No, I literally just found out that his name is not Wim. It's Wim. He's German. Wim. Like Wie viele Französischstunden haben Sie am Donnerstag? Oh my god, I remember that from my 1 year of German class. How many French students do you have on Thursday? I don't know why I said that. I just like Französischstunden. Wie keine... blah. I don't know any other German. Anyway, this movie is not German, though. This movie is English. It is German-made. It's European-made, but it is entirely in English. Iglesia. Or doesn't that mean church? No, that's Iglesia. Inglés, that's what I meant to say. There's no language in this movie apart from English, so shut up, okay? To myself. Ow. Okay, today I always say we because I'm lonely. I am going to talk about Paris, Texas. The movie, not the place.
I first saw you this time at Waltz. I was hoping to show you that I was your father. You showed me I was.
How can I have two fathers? Just lucky, I guess.
I could never heal up what happened. I can't even hardly remember what happened. It's like a gap.
Have you seen Jane or talked to her? We thought you were dead, boy.
How long have I been gone, do you know?
4 years.
Is 4 years a long time?
It is for a little boy.
There will be no safety zone. I can guarantee you the safety zone will be eliminated.
What's out there?
I gotta go away now.
Why?
Because I'm gonna find her.
How's it going?
I want to find her too.
I knew these people. They were in love with each other.
She's leaving the vein.
He was kind of raggedy and wild. She was very beautiful, And he loved her more than he ever felt possible.
The winner of the Golden Palm at the Cannes Film Festival and one of the most acclaimed films of the decade.
Harry Dean Stanton, Nastassja Kinski, Dean Stockwell, Aurore Clément, and introducing Hunter Carson.
Paris, Texas.
Is there something, is there something I can do for you?
Paris, Texas.
I don't like that trailer. Don't be turned away from that trailer. Yes, this is a bit of a slow movie. It is a slow burn. It is a long movie, too. It's over 2.5 hours long. It is a slow burn. It is a slow burn, but it is a very good slow burn. This is just plain and simple a very moving motion picture. It's about fathers and sons. It's about family. It's about the desert. It's about a very lovable, quiet, but frustratingly quiet man redeeming himself. And it's beautifully done. I think, the strength of Paris, Texas is just in the script itself, and the cinematography, and the performances, yada, yada, yada. But I think in general, Paris, Texas, reigns as one of the greatest movies of all time because of its script. There is just something about it. It's one of those scripts that has characters that are so relatable and believable, and the story is believable, and it just hits you on every emotional level. Now, I should give you a little bit of backstory. So Wim Wenders is the director of this movie, and he's considered to be, surprise, one of the best directors ever, of course, because why then his movie wouldn't be on Sight and Sound's list. But Wim Wenders is also very popular because he was a pioneer of new German cinema. I know, you're probably so tired of hearing new and then a nationality and then cinema. Yes, a lot of film movements. New German cinema is one of them. I've gone over neorealism. I've gone over the French New Wave. Have I gone over the French New Wave? Probably. I've gone over new Argentine cinema. And yes, now there is a new one to talk about, new German cinema. I won't talk too much about it, but basically, and I actually have not seen a lot of new German cinema movies, but it's very, very similar to the French New Wave, if not the exact same, except in a different language. New German cinema, the movies are very low budget. There's not a lot of big actors in them, and the scripts are very freeing, and they're very, that's not the right word. What am I trying to say? They're movies just about everyday life and everyday circumstances. I think that's the best way to describe New German cinema and French New Wave. That's what they're known for. Now, Wim Wenders is one of many directors who contributed to that movement. He directed another movie called Wings of Desire, which is coming up on this list. That's in a few weeks, I think I reviewed that. He also did a movie called Pina. It came out in 2011, I think. Yeah, 2011. It is a 3D documentary about this famous choreographer named Pina Bausch, I believe is how you say her name. And I just remember seeing this in college, and it was one of the coolest 3D movies I'd seen. And 2011, that was the year of the 3D craze because of Avatar and Alice in Neverland. No, that's a different movie. Alice in Wonderland and Clash of the Titans and Toy Story 3. All those friggin' movies that were getting released in 3D, but it was really just a money grab. Pina is a movie that Wim Wenders did that was so extraordinary because it treated 3D like it should be treated, which is art. 3D is meant to be artistic. It's meant to be, wow, cool. It's like it's actually coming out of the screen. Not, oh, wow, cool. I'm just going to spend $6 extra and it's going to look the exact same, if not dimmer. The quality is just going to look dimmer. Anyway, yeah, I have a lot to say about the 3D craze. That drove me up a wall. But Pina, I just loved. It's one of, my favorite dance movies, and no one's ever heard of it. It came and went. But yes, Paris, Texas is probably, in my opinion, considered to be Wim Wenders' most acclaimed movie. When you study film, you always see Paris, Texas. You always see the red in the movie. Red is a big motif in this film. You always see those shots of Nastassja Kinski, who is in the movie, and you see the shot of Harry Dean Stanton wearing that red hat, and it's become a very iconic film in the indie world, and in indie cinema, that is, I loved it. I really did love it. Yeah. And again, it all has to really just do with the plot, which we're going to get into right now.
Plot synopsis.
Here we go. Allons-y. That's French. How do you say here we go in German? I don't know. Gehen. Wie gehen Sie it? No, I'm not getting it right. Okay, anyway, this movie's not German. I can't shut up about it. I'm sorry. Travis Henderson, played by Harry Dean Stanton. Harry Dean Stanton, just really quickly, he was a very prolific actor. He was in a lot of movies. He passed away in 2017. He lived to be 91 years old. He was in a ton of films. He was in some David Lynch movies. He was in The Last Temptation of Christ. He was in Pretty in Pink. He was in Pretty in Pink? I don't remember that. I've only actually seen the movie once. He was in The Godfather Part 2. He was an alien. He gets killed by the alien in Alien, just like everybody else in Alien, except for Sigourney Weaver in Alien. People in 5th grade used to tell me that I look like Sigourney Weaver. Anyway, Travis Henderson, he is played tremendously by Harry Dean Stanton. He is wandering through the West Texas desert, bewildered and holding an empty gallon water jug. He wanders into a convenience store, opens a freezer, and starts eating ice before losing consciousness. A doctor examines Travis and discovers that he is mute. The doctor goes through Travis's wallet and finds a card with a phone number on it. He calls the number, which belongs to Walt Henderson, Travis's brother. Walt is played by Dean Stockwell, who was a huge actor. He was in Anchors Away, which was, I remember that was like one of the first movies I watched as a kid. It always comes to mind. I didn't like it, but he was like a little baby in that. He acted alongside Gene Kelly. Yes. Big actor. A lot of big actors on this list. Okay. Walt travels from Los Angeles to Terlingua, Texas to pick up Travis, whom he had presumed was dead after not hearing from him for 4 years. Walt's wife, Anne, played by Aurore Clement. Not a lot of actors in this movie, too. I should mention that. Anne, Walt's wife, is worried since she and Walt had adopted Travis's son, Hunter, as Hunter's biological mother, Jane, had been out of his life for years. Walt finds Travis wandering miles down the road from the clinic. So you're wondering, like, what is up with this Walt? What is going on with Walt? Why is he catatonic? You know, what is he mentally ill? So you don't really know this. The brothers begin their road trip back to Los Angeles. Walt grows increasingly frustrated with Travis's muteness and confronts him about his disappearance and abandonment of Hunter. Hunter is played by a boy also named Hunter Carson, who we see later. At the mention of Hunter, Travis begins to cry, but still does not speak. The following day, Travis finally begins to speak. He can talk, and he's not mute, and produces a photo of a plot of land explaining that he purchased a property in Paris, Texas, which does exist. The place, it's a city, never been there. Don't really have a desire to go to Texas, but, you know, we'll see. The brothers arrive in Los Angeles, where Walt and Anne own a house in the Verdugo Hills overlooking the Burbank Airport. There, Travis is reunited with Hunter, who has little recollection of his father and is initially timid around him. He's a little boy. He's like 10, 12 in this movie. Walt shows Hunter old home videos of them and Jane, and after persistence by Travis, Hunter grows comfortable around his father. And, oh, it's so sweet. Anne tells Travis in confidence that Jane deposits monthly payments into a bank account for Hunter and that the bank is in Houston. Travis becomes determined to find Jane and tells Hunter that he must leave the following night. Jane is played by Nastassja Kinski. Nastassja Kinski. I always thought it was Natasha Kinski. I think that's the American, way to say it, but she is a German actress. She's very, very well known in the European cinema world. She was in a movie by Roman Polanski called Tess that she's, I think, most famous for, which I have not seen. And she did a movie called Cat People, erotic movie. Also haven't seen it. Anyway, Travis becomes determined to find Jane and tells Hunter that he must leave the following night. Hunter tells Travis that he wants to accompany him, though they do not have Walt's and Anne's permission. Travis and Hunter, nevertheless, embark on a road trip to Houston, with the two of them bonding and growing closer. They arrive at the bank on the day of the expected deposit and plan to locate Jane's car. Hunter spots Jane making a drive-in deposit, and they follow her car to a peep show club where she works. Travis goes inside while Hunter waits in the car. The peep show is designed so that customers sit on one side of a one-way mirror with a telephone intercom to the performer. This is a really famous scene in the movie. When Jane enters the room, Travis is unable to speak and soon leaves without saying, oh, it's actually the next scene. Sorry, getting ahead of myself. Is unable to speak and soon leaves without saying more than a few words to her. Travis is angry, drives to a bar, and drinks while Hunter complains. The following day, Travis leaves Hunter at a hotel and goes to Jane's workplace. In Jane's room, he turns his chair so that it faces away from her. On the phone, listen carefully to this. This is the famous scene. I'm sorry. On the phone, he tells her a vague story about a man and a younger woman who met, quickly fell in love with each other, got married, and had a child. Jane is initially confused, but soon realizes that it is Travis. Kind of obvious. Well, we know, of course. He tells her that after the child was born, the wife suffered from postpartum depression, becoming irritable and yearning for an escape. She would have dreams about running naked down a highway, but just as she was about to finally leave, he would appear and stop her. The now alcoholic husband, fearing his wife's departure, tied a cowbell to her foot so he would be able to hear her if she left in the night. On one night, the wife, having stuffed socks in the cowbell to muffle the sound, successfully snuck out, though the husband caught her and dragged her back home. He tied her to a stove with his belt and went to bed. Yikes. When he woke up, the house was on fire and the wife and child were gone. Jesus Christ, shit, man. Yeah, this is like, okay, so obviously that is what happened between Travis and Jane, and it is dramatic and really bad, of course. So you understand now, why Travis is a mess and mute, was mute for so long, and he just wants to make amends with his wife, and also bring together his wife and their son, Hunter, because he needs his mom. Jane turns the light off on her side and finally sees Travis. Oh, this moment was so good. She expresses pain and regret over missing Hunter's childhood. Travis tells Jane that Hunter is in Houston waiting for her and gives her Hunter's room number. Jane and Hunter are reunited while Travis watches from the parking lot. He drives away, smiling to himself. The end. The music in this movie is really, really good. So there's a lot to say about this movie. There's a lot to interpret. The strengths of the movie, hands down, are with the script, with the performances, definitely 100% with the performances. I mean, without the performances, this movie would not work. Kinski in the movie, she was already very popular at the time when this movie came out. She's actually not in this movie a lot. And her face is on every poster of this movie and every shot. If you Google Paris, Texas, she is everywhere. She permeates your screen. She's not in this for very long, but even when she is on, her performance is so chillingly brilliant in this film. Because, she did mess up. He did mess up. They're both flawed people. He as in Travis. Jane and Travis know that they made mistakes, but, Wenders in this film, he does not portray Jane as being a horrible mother or anything like that. She is so fragile in this film. It's moving. It's just very, very moving. And I should mention, too, that I actually did not know this. This movie was written by Sam Shepard. Sam Shepard was an actor in, he's, in my opinion, most famous for this movie called Days of Heaven, but he also was married to Jessica Lange, and he was, what's his name's dad in The Notebook, Ryan Gosling's dad in The Notebook. What was his name? Oh, Noah, yeah, Noah, excuse me. He wrote this movie, which I did not know. He also was in August Osage County, amazing movie, go see it. Yeah, he wrote it along with this guy named L.M. Kit Carson, whose son, Hunter Carson, plays Hunter in the movie. Fun little trivia there. Yeah, I mean, great performances, amazing cinematography by Robbie Mueller is his name. He was a Dutch cinematographer. The use of colors in the film is brilliant. The peep show sequence is just absolutely gorgeously filmed. It is a slow burn. It's not really for everyone, but there's not a single character in this movie that I felt sympathy. I didn't feel sympathy for, I felt sympathy for everybody. I felt sympathy for Walt and Anne because, Travis is so frustrating to be with because you don't really know what he wants, and he wants to do things that you can't just do at the click of your fingers. You can't just go to Houston like that. You can't just disappear for all those years. But they're not villains. There aren't any villains in this film. And it's kind of the same with Hunter. Hunter at first is very, wants nothing to do with his dad at all, but he's not a little brat or anything like that. And I think the way he's portrayed, the way he slowly starts to look up to his father, it's so sweet. It's so poignantly done. There's not a big moment of him going like, Daddy, I'm glad you're back. It's not. It's very realistically done. Kids, you can tell when kids like somebody and when they don't like somebody, and you can also, at least I've seen this, like you can see when kids start to turn to people that originally they were shy around. It's not one thing. It's just little things, and Hunter Carson's performance is so good because his body language is so precise in the film, There's like little things he does. He's like a scared puppy, like slowly crawling towards you on a couch. Wow. That just came to mind. Yeah, there's that. So, yeah, and I think, again, just the script. I think the script it's a story that could happen. It's a story that anybody can, I think it's a story that anybody can sympathize with. It's a story that can appeal to anybody. It's a drama. This is just drama at its very, very finest. I don't know how else to say it. Just a great drama. Sometimes, guys, you watch a movie and there's a lot of great things about it, but you ask what's great about it, and you just say, it's just a great drama. It's just a great movie. Great movie. Long. It is long, but amazing. Absolutely amazing. BTS Secrets and Scandals. This movie was filmed in 4 to 5 weeks, which isn't that surprising. I mean, it's a small movie with a lot of talking. I don't see why it would take a while to film, but you never know. There are some directors who were notorious for making projects with not a lot of, action in them very, very difficult. Anyway, this movie premiered at the Cannes Film Festival. It won the Palme d'Or, which is a very, very big prize. If you win the Palme d'Or, you can sit at the cool girl table. Yeah, basically. A little kind of interesting trivia regarding Sam Shepard and Wim Wenders. So Sam Shepard, like I said, he was an actor. He had originally met with Wenders to potentially write Wenders' new film, which was called Hammett, Hammett, I haven't seen it. It came out in 1982, but Shepard was not interested. So the two instead came up with the idea for this film. And then, L.M. Kit Carson, who I'm not familiar with, he came in a little bit later. Big trivia, big scandal. It's not a scandal. Nothing happened that I could find, of course. But Harry Dean Stanton and Nastassja Kinski, that's so hard to say. I'm never going to get that right. They were 35 years apart in age. I know, age is just a number, but she does look very, not old, but she doesn't look as young as she was in this movie. Makeup, I think. Yeah, There's something about Nastassja Kinski. Okay, fuck me. I cannot say this goddamn name. Kinski. I'm just going to call you Kinski. I'm sorry, all right, I can't do this shit anymore. Kinski, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry. There's something about Kinski, though. She's just absolutely beautiful. I mean, she was a model, too. So, yeah, gorgeous. Oh, the other thing, too, that is, kind of cool, I guess, was well, not cool, but I don't know. Filming started while the screenplay for this movie was not even completed yet, which is kind of like, that's insane. So, and also, Sam Shepard, he had already moved on to do another job. Because, sometimes they write the screenplay and then they're like, that's it, do what you want with it, but sometimes they like to stay on and see how it works. He actually credits Wenders and Kit Carson, with the idea of the Peep Show and the story's final acts. He actually says that Dean Stockwell... Oh, no, I'm sorry. According to Dean Stockwell, in addition, his character in early drafts was intended to travel with Hunter, Travis, and Anne before Anne turned back to Los Angeles and Walt became lost in the desert, paralleling Travis in the first scene. That is how originally it was in the script. I am so glad they changed that because that doesn't really make any sense. This isn't a movie about Travis and Walt. It's not really a movie about brothers. I mean, that's a theme in the movie, and Walt does play a big role in this film, but I don't understand that. I don't understand the correlation between... I get it, it's the same, it parallels Walt being lost in the desert at first, but it doesn't work. It ends up being like, wait, so the movie's not meant to be about Travis's redeeming arc as a character with reuniting his wife with their son. It's now going to switch over to Travis. Anyway, it did not end this way, thank the Lord, and it wasn't even filmed or anything. So, yes, but the Peep Show, which, like I said, is considered, the most famous scene in the movie, was basically Wenders and Kit Carson's idea. So, Sam, you didn't do it. Well, I mean, he admitted that he didn't write it, but yeah. Kind of crazy, I guess. The best moment. The Peep Show scene, definitely. Also, this is not a dirty scene. There's nothing dirty at all in this movie. I think it's PG-13. Is it PG-13? It's a PG-13. I do believe it is PG-13. I forgot to take note of that. Yes, it was. Why? I'm sorry. Time out. This is just going to drive me crazy. No, it was not PG-13. It was rated R. They don't even curse in this film. Do they curse? What was it rated R for? Ridiculous. Okay, this movie is very appropriate. Unless, like, in the Peep Show, there was, like, nudity that I didn't catch. But, okay, anyway. It's rated R. The Peep Show scene is the best scene in the movie because it is the most moving moment. And if you just look at Kinski's face when Stanton is telling the story about, the husband and the wife and the baby and the postpartum depression and the cowbell. I know the cowbell does make me laugh. It does make me laugh. When you just see Kinski's face and you just see her change very slowly from what to, oh my God. It's him. It's my husband. It's Travis. It's so good. I get the chills every time.
Mais est-ce que je suis d'accord avec les critiques de ce film?
The movie was panned when it came out. No, I'm totally lying. The movie was amazing when it came out. It was on a lot of critics' praise lists. I was going to say top 10 list, but I don't really know. I didn't see if this was on that many critics' lists. I think it was on Roger Ebert's top 10 list for the year it came out. But Peter Bradshaw from The Guardian, anyway, everybody loved it. Peter Bradshaw from The Guardians called Paris, Texas, an eerie, sad story whose meaning disappears over the vast horizon as if on a highway heading away through the desert. I like that because I really like how the desert is a character in itself in this film. I really like, it is essentially, this is almost like a Western in a way, There's something about the desert, and like the desolate settings in films are so good for dramas because it's like the characters have nowhere to hide. They have nowhere to go. They have to face and accept their fate, Boom. You agree with me, right? I mean, that I think is why deserts are so popular in movies like Paris, Texas, because, and in a lot of Westerns too, the desolation. When there's desolation, the only solution is truth. Wow. I gotta write a book someday about this. Marcia McCready from Arizona Republic said the movie belongs to Stanton, of course, and it's hard to think of any other actor who can go from Chaplin-like outcast to tragic hero in the space of a feature film. He is very much like Charlie Chaplin in this film. He is very much like Charlie Chaplin in the beginning, but less creepy. Charlie Chaplin, go read about him. Great guy, a great comedian, of course, comedian. Guy, I may have to take that back. Read about him. Some scandals there. Anyway, Kathleen Carroll from the New York Daily News said, past tense, what separates Paris, Texas from most of today's movies is its gentle humanism. Humanism is the word I was looking for that I forgot. Humanism is this movie. It is, and gentle. Gentle humanism defines this movie. It's about the humanism in people, Sheila Benson from the Los Angeles Times called Paris, Texas, a deeply affecting film about family, separation, loss, and a man's last act of repentance. Repentance, redemption, RRR. Not a movie that is related to this film at all, but go check it out, but don't watch it on Netflix because it's dubbed. Ugh.
Is it really one of the best movies of all time?
Oh my god, I just choked on my saliva. I love this movie. It is so well done. I don't know if it's one of the best movies. I don't know if it stands out that much as one of the best movies of all time. It is a fantastic drama. I'm going to leave it open and say IDFK. I don't frickin' know. I don't know. It's the what did lawyers say? The jury's out, the jury's open, the case is open. I don't know. I don't do lawyer shows, lawyer jargon. Lawyer shows. I just said lawyer show because Ally McBeal is one of my favorite shows, and they recently highlighted it at the Golden Globes. And was it the Golden Globes or the Emmys? I think it was the Emmys. Crap, and I missed the Emmys. That's probably why I don't know. I don't know if this is one of the best. For right now, I'm going to say no. I think it's a great movie, not one of the best. Short answer. The end. Thank you all for tuning in, and go check out this movie, Paris, Texas. Go check out indie films. They are really, really good. I know you have to kind of be in the right mood sometimes. You do have to be in the right mood for Paris, Texas. I do agree. But it will absolutely move you, and may even move you to tears. And it may make you want to move physically to the South because it's hot there. And, I don't know about Texas, but, maybe other places. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in. I'll see you next time. And in the meantime, I'm going to end with this. Get off your couch and go to the goddamn movies, okay? I don't care if you have to get up early. Go. Just go. Make your dreams come true, as Shia LaBeouf says. Okay, go ahead. Go to the movies. Please do it. Stop sitting down and just go. Please do it. Do it. Okay. All right. I'm going to go eat some pizza now. Bye-bye. Oh, you made it. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of I'm Reviewing Here. New episodes drop Tuesdays and Fridays. You can get this podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Feel free to follow me on Instagram at I'm Reviewing Here. You can also subscribe on YouTube. New episodes drop there the same day they drop on the podcast. Don't forget to subscribe. Please leave a review if you'd like. Be mean, be nice, hit on me. I don't really care. Candor really, really is important to me, and, it helps the podcast too. So I really hope you enjoyed it. This podcast is brought to you especially by Nervous Chuckles. That is my fake production company because I make people nervously chuckle all the time because they never know if I'm telling a joke or not. So they're always like, do I laugh? Do I not laugh? Is he serious? Is he insane? Did he get out of the loony? What's going on? So if I made you nervously chuckle, then that means that I did my job, and thank you. There is no funding for this podcast, but if you want to give me money, then, hit me up. DM me. Bye-bye.